Hello, friends. My name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. One person asked, why friends? Because the enemies don't show up. They're like, their schedules are just don't work with mine because they don't like me. This is Star Wars Saturdays, an ongoing anthology tabletop RPG experience. No, I'm not going there. Campaign, but it's an anthology campaign that I've been running for 6 years. And sorry, the dramatic pause just always kind of makes my brain. So what I do is that every month, sometimes within a couple times within a month, sometimes I stretch it over several months, which is what we're doing here. I choose a different tabletop RPG, a little indie game or a small press OSRA style game. I offer it up to the open hearth community, and folks will RSVP to it, and we reskin it or hack it and or declare that it is set in Star Wars, and we play. There are often recurring characters, which we will see very soon. Often there are new characters. Sometimes there are NPCs from previous games that are lifted up to become a player character. We've got our own little silly canon that we have, but we don't worry too much about that. From a time period setting, if you're like, where in Star Wars are you? It is post Return of the Jedi, not quite up to Mandalorian. So in that 5 year, based on what I've read, I don't know if that's official. I don't buy the guidebooks. I just read Wikipedia. But 5-ish years where the New Republic is growing and trying to release the galaxy from the evil clutches of the Empire. But I am borrowing a little bit of Legends canon because I think it's cool, in that there is basically a warlord of the Empire known as Zinj, and we are playing in Zinj's Empire. And the game we're playing is, I just got the book, Fellowship. Fellowship is from Liberi Gothica. It is a second edition game. There are 4 books for it. I'm using 3 of the books. Kind of. It's crazy. The group is currently on a planet known as Vorlok. And if you've watched any of the previous sessions, you'll notice that we're a little light. Unfortunately, 2 of our players, Tyler, we know, is in every other week because of his odd work schedule. But Kay also could not join us for this session, but that's a-okay. Light as in number, but not as in presence, because we have 3 amazing players, 3 of my favorite people to play with here. So we're going to go around the horn and remind ourselves of our people. No, we don't really need to do that. I mean, we just like hung out for like 45 minutes just BSing. But for those who are watching, and also our characters. So I'm going to start from the right-hand side of the character keeper, heading towards the left, which means Greg, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hey, I'm Greg. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Zap Books, who was on screen, off screen, not the focus, not slightly out of frame last session because I was not present. But Zap Books is a Rhodian bounty hunter. Zap is not perhaps very good at that, but Zap has gotten very serious. And he's joined the rebellion for reals and is totally not going to sell anybody out. He's not going to go to his old ways. He's turning a new leaf. Zap is serious and is going to take down Zinj. I am playing the reskinned orc playbook, so I have access to all forms of disaster creation tools um, that I'm looking forward to using this session on something, whether or not it's deserving or not.
Delightful. Thank you, Greg. In the middle of our trio is Stephen.
Hi, my name is Steven. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Nanta the Ewok, whose pronouns are also he, him. And Nanta's sort of like a little agent of chaos. Um, it is actually the halfling playbook in Fellowship, and gets to do things like whenever I keep other people busy, maybe I get to steal something, or I notice something very cool, or something like that. So,
Oh, don't forget, you've got a protocol droid too.
oh yeah, one of my companions is a protocol droid doing the translation for everyone else to be able to understand my Ewokese.
It's true. So true. And last but certainly not least, the soon-to-be newlywed, Cody.
It's me. It's Cody. I use the he, him pronouns, and I'm playing my guy, Oren, the Jedi, reskinned of the elf playbook. He also uses the he, him pronouns. In my delightful image here, you'll see, oh, there we go. Freya, my Loth Wolf. And you might hear my actual real life Loth Wolves running around. They just got let inside. Yeah, what's there to know about Oron? He is a Jedi wayseeker. He's following an ancient path of the Order, which is to not be so much a part of the rigid hierarchy. He was following the Force as it led him to learn about his understanding with it. That put him outside of Order 66 territory. He's about 45, late 40s. And he's joined up with this rebellion because the Force has brought it here. So yeah, that's all you need to know.
Excellent. Greg, I didn't mention this out loud, but I did reorient some of the move structure for you, trying to make things a little easier and so you wouldn't have to constantly scroll down more and more and more.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, good. Hopefully that made things easier for you. I moved around a few of the unchosen moves down to the 130s rows. So if you need help with any of this, please
Yeah, I'll
ask
be able to figure it
or
out.
take care of it. You guys are on the planet of Warlock, a planet that was just recently rediscovered. You came here at the request of the Queen. The Queen is also the sister of one of your fellowship. The Queen requested help getting supplies, which you have delivered. You did have to, you didn't exactly break through because Darren, your fellowship member, mostly browbeat his way through the Star Destroyer blockade to land. And Leofira von Warlock, the queen, she met with Darren, her brother, and a number of you, but not Nanta, nor with Zob. Zob was sent off being a bounty hunter to find Nanta. Nanta had let off some spies who were watching you as you came into the capital city of Warlock. Now, we ended our session with Nanta having been found by Zop and brought back to the palace. And Oron, you had finished your consult with the queen and your friend Darren. And Darren and the queen now have some ceremonial stuff to take care of. So you are left with Nanta, R0, and Zop Books in the palace. Where, Oron, in the palace, do you believe that the four of you are meeting together?
Oh, that's a good question. I think Oron actually knows a place in the palace. I think he has led them to perhaps it's not quite an office, but a working room that Versi, the advisor to the Queen and Prince Darren, that she uses. So it's kind of like a reception room that she has access to. And Oron knows the code. He doesn't make a big deal about it. He says, "Come, we need to discuss things in here. This will be far enough from prying eyes," and leads him into a well-appointed office.
Excellent. Zop, as you are trailing behind Nanta, R0, and Oron headed towards this well-appointed office, you overhear some conversation in a distant hallway. And when you glance back, I'm imagining it's one of those like in Empire Strikes Back in Cloud City when you like look down the hallway and you see a couple people like pass by, and you recognize someone in finely appointed silks. None other than Lady Cinna Falkeen is here Do you duck out of the way, or do you make a different choice?
Oh, I am want to be nowhere near her. Yeah, I hurry up my step a little bit, and adjust my spacesuit a little bit to oh, not to.
Cool.
We must move quickly.
Excellent. So, in this well-appointed office, Nanta, what is it that you find most interesting and maybe pilfer with?
Yeah, I think there's like in the corner there's like a bar with some snacks and stuff. And it's a little bit too high for me, but I find a chair real quick and I shove it up to the, where this bar is, get up on top and I just help myself.
There you
I
go.
think I actually pour glasses for everybody else too. Um, it's a weird liquid. I think this is set out for the upcoming celebration, right?
Yeah.
And there's so it's kind of a punch, um, almost like an orange or pineapple juice kind of thing. Yeah.
Having seen Cinefalkeen, Zappa begins to like hard lock the door.
Yes,
Nice.
Zop, that's a good idea. We don't want anybody stepping in here. Things are changing swiftly around the palace. I am not sure I wish to linger here longer than we have to.
What have you heard?
There is a presence here. They're after something. The Imperials are backing them. And I do believe that when we arrived yesterday, or earlier today, excuse me, man, what a time. This is wild. When we arrived, there was the cousin, Judas von Vorlach. I have a certainty that he reported on our presence to someone. And so I did my best to throw them on a off balance. I worry that if we give them much time, they'll recover it and come for us harder than we're ready to withstand. We did our job. We delivered the supplies from the rebellion. If we can do this favor to the queen and really strike a blow to the Imperials, find whatever it is this matriarch is after,
What?
I think that would be the best course of.
When I saw Lady Falkeen, was she being escorted as if like she was being allowed to walk the palace freely, or was she like in handcuffs? I think you would mention that detail.
Oh, that is a fine question. She was, in fact, walking right beside like close enough for friendly with a person who very obvious to you, the Warlock family has a certain resemblance. It was not just for the players. It was not Judas, not Leofira. But if you look in the NPC tab, the von Warlocks, there's middle unnamed. Yeah, they then, yes, you saw you highlight it. That is the person that is walking. The two, like she laughed in a genteel fashion at something that they had said. Seemed friendly.
I am concerned that perhaps the Warlock nobles are also exploring funding from other sources. They may not be all they appear.
What gives you that idea?
Just past an unfortunate acquaintance in the hallway.
Another bounty hunter?
Worse. The daughter of a former bounty.
Yes, then I don't think we should tally long. Good work locking the door. What do you think we should wait. Nanta, what happened to you?
I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk over and like hand a glass to Oren and hand a glass to Zop, and then start to fill them in on what exactly I saw. And I think R0 has to kind of translate some of this, but it's, it was exciting. I ran off. I smashed the speeder. I ran into a couple of people who, like a little girl who thought I was cool, but then her mom was mean, and like some people came and put me in prison, but then I let all the animals out. I also let out a Corellian hound that's hanging out with us. Yes.
I love
So
that it's just like a hound that just has been walking around with you guys
Yeah.
and no one said anything.
Just now notice this.
Yeah.
And who's
Well-
your new friend?
Yeah.
And I think I take some of that punch and I pour it into a bowl and set it down in front of it. And it like walks over and sniffs it and maybe takes a little bit of a taste and then backs off and it's done. And I won it over with food, of course. So, and then Zop here found me and brought me here. The people who were chasing me, the people who were watching us, peeled off and left pretty quickly once we got away. Once I got, a far enough distance away. They didn't like, it was like they didn't, either they got word that something was going on or they didn't like where I was going.
I wonder if they are more perceptive than we give them credit, and they knew it was just you fleeing.
Possibly. I mean, I'm not a master spy. But
No doubting your skills, Nanta. Of course, you are a treacherous, tricky little guy. Perhaps then we need to find out where these Imperials, the matriarch, if we can find out what it is they're looking for, and if not what, where, and perhaps then something can guide us. I'm going to just guess that the princeling, Darren, is going to be occupied. So it might be best for us to get a move on ourselves.
where do you want to go?
I don't know. Rich, real quick, we didn't have any idea of where on the planet anything was happening, right? We don't have any kind of inkling of that yet.
You don't as yet. Now, you can spend force to discover information as a rebellion.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
yeah.
Okay. I like that. So why not? We can, in character, perhaps we can reach out to our contacts in the rebellion and we can see if they've intercepted any transmissions. I'm sure they will be happy to hear this intel that we have as well.
That's a
So
good
we
idea.
throw the hollow puck down and Captain Rex shows up.
That sounds fun. We had talked about opening with that, so this locks right in, like two Lego. You just like that perfect sound. Stevie, can you do the Lego sound? Like, is that a
No.
thing? No, you can't. Okay, neither can I. I just say click and then and hope that people imagine it in their head. Sweet. The hollow coalesces. You see the upper half of Captain Rex, the leader of your rebellion, who we had discovered has lost his calm. He sent you guys here post haste, regardless of the threats that you would face, and he appears to the three of you. Where's Darren?
The prince is occupied.
We should keep this quick.
I wouldn't want it any other way. Here's what you need to know. The Imperials are on this planet and they're searching for something. We need your help identifying what that is. Also, we've delivered the supplies that you asked of us. Those are being, I believe, offloaded as we speak. But we need to find out what it is the Imperials want here on Vorlok so that we might strike a blow or deny them their prize.
And I think Nanta stands up as you're talking to Rex, kind of behind you. And as you mentioned, the Imperials are on. Nanta, being where he's from, speaks a little bit in pantomime. So like pantomimes the nemesis, uh what is her name again?
Matriarch
Matron
Shivelsa.
Chevalsa.
Yeah,
Yes.
basically, and it's this, big cone hat and kind of thing.
It is just as the little one says, a terror to be sure.
Further, a noble from from Tapani, from the Minos cluster, is also here, perhaps providing funding.
Ah, that is who you meant, Zop. A bounty that was a noble. We should probably discuss this more in the future. But yes, Commander Rex, that is what we have gathered here on Vorlock.
Excellent. You are currently engaging the rebellion move of making contact. Technically, you're not in a base of operations because you're not in the ship, but we're going to engage the move anyway. Inside of a base of operation, you can freely meet up with a rebellion. When you call upon a rebel contact while outside of a base, which is this move, roll plus sense. The player making contact is the one who must make the roll.
All right. I'll make
Before we start that, is there helping in this game? I've forgotten.
There is helping in this game. If we go to the move reference, there is a way to give people advantage. Let's take a look at it. Pay the price, fill your belly, command lore, in the session. Bound as responds. Nope. Speak softly. Bonds. I'm sorry. I should know this stuff
Is it through
better.
bonds?
It is. Game reference. Start fellowship principles. End of session telling stories. Next. Nope. None of that helps. Okay.
So let's look that up like during a break or after the game because I don't want to derail things. Yeah.
All right. So then I'll make the making contact roll. Sense for me
when two or more players who have bonds with each other work together side by side, they roll with hope, meaning you roll with advantage.
Oh. Well, I would say we're working together right now, right? I mean,
Sure sounds like it. Sure sounds like it.
All right. So I'll roll 3d6, add +2 for my sense, and we'll take the 2 higher d6. That's
Yes.
the advantage.
That's how it goes.
All right, here we go. Oh, baby, you've never seen such a high roll. That's a 14.
Wow.
Rich,
you sure you don't want to choose the 4 and the 6 to make it just...
I just feel like we should check these rules here, Rich, because I rolled so high, I'm pretty sure I win. I win the game.
The thing is, I need 10 plays. So I'm just going to, if that's true, I'm going to say no, it's not true. I have a feeling maybe you've misinterpreted, but that's okay. On a 10 plus, it goes well. Nothing bad happens to you or your contact for this meeting. You can spend forces or intel for the appropriate benefits, and they may have news to pass along to you, and they will pass your own news or messages or resources back to the rebellion for you.
I see. So we should have engaged this move before we actually made contact.
Well, he hasn't really responded. It's okay. Like it would have been fine. It's 15 plus is inch dice. That's right. That's right. He just explodes. The dice explode him.
Okay. So we can spend force or intel for appropriate benefits. Real quick, do we gain any intel for bringing this information to Rex?
You do. Yeah, when you bring plans, info, or captives to the rebellion, they gain 2 intel. So your intel will go from 2 to 4.
Awesome. I'll change that right now.
Excellent.
Okay. Now crew, help me out here on your thoughts. I feel like what we're wanting to do is spend intel, perhaps this one here, spend 2 intel to learn the latest master plan. The Empire or Overlord has because Cheval says specifically a nemesis, so it wouldn't be those. Or would it?
So when
you know what? Discover where a source of power is located. Perhaps that's the one.
You certainly can. So if you want to spend the intel to discover the a source of power, then that will, like, I'll just peel it back. That will give you the information for
So
what
we
they are
might
seeking.
be one short of that because I see that whenever we spend intel outside of a base of operations, costs are increased by 1.
Oh.
That's
Now,
it.
I just
A11.
wanted to check. Is this just a currency? If we go to 0 intel, is like the rebellion blind? Like, is there?
Oh, great question. So no is
Okay.
my understanding. But if you run out of forces, then I think they're set up to take a walloping.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, we could.
We could discover the last known location of a leader or a general. That's kind of what we're looking for. Is where can we start to look for this item? Because we don't really know what the item is.
Right.
If it's an item
Or we could,
at all.
or we
Yeah.
could save our intel.
Mhm.
And then if we save it, then we could later spend it to discover where a source of power is located. So that
I
would be
mean,
us going out and exploring to find people or find things on our own, and then that would lead us towards the source of power.
so this is something that the Empire also is looking for, right? Like
Correct.
they have not found this and are protecting it. They are also looking for it.
They are also looking for it.
We have 2 of the finest bounty hunters that this side of space knows. I say that we I love that skeptical look, Rich.
I'm glad you picked that up.
The
Dude, really? I just
I'm sure the Empire has been known to use our kind in the past. Perhaps we should meet with the local bounty board and see if we cannot position ourselves as bounty hunters. Surely there is a prize to be had.
I like that thought. In that case, Commander Rex, we leave you to your business, and you'll hear from us shortly.
May the force be with you.
And also with you. Real quick, did we engage the filling the belly move by eating and drinking here in this office? Is that a thing?
Yes, we should have you fill your belly.
Do
So,
we all roll that, or is that something?
hold on, and I will double check. Fill your belly. Fill your belly. It's on the move reference. When you are between scenes, you may use food to heal 1 damage. When you share a meal with friends, 1 person may heal an extra point of damage.
I also have the ability, when you fill your belly, to use as much food as wanted, in order to heal. Anyone trying to compete with me can also heal an extra damage. So if you have more than 1 damage, you can do that as well.
Amazing. And I want to go through here and double check. Is there a spot for damage?
You
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
get
it's right here. It's
damage
right here
to-
next to our stats.
Yeah,
Okay.
your stats get damaged. That's
So-
so it's not like hit points. It's like you're going to roll in despair whenever you hit a move from that.
Got it. I actually don't have any damage that I'm going to heal, but as part of the Jedi core moves Elder Arts, when I fill my belly, I can remove a mark from 1 force power, not spells, and then I can use it again. So I'll go ahead and uncheck one of those for myself.
Nice.
And I do have damage, so I'm going to undamage that.
Excellent. Okay.
All
So
right.
you now are talking about the setting up at the Bounty Hunter Guild office to try to find if the Empire is utilizing the scum of the earth. Now, let us. This is the Overlord, I guess. I have to call myself an Overlord. Anyways, the GM reminding you that this is a planet that has not been part of the galaxy for long.
Yeah.
So the Bounty Hunter Guild office has got to be like shiny. Maybe some stuff still has the plastic wrap on it where they haven't like peeled it off. You get the new piece of tech and you
I
like,
was-
haven't.
I was even thinking it might not even be at the stage where they've gotten their stuff brought in. Like it is a frontiersman bounty hunter who set up shop in a cantina, and he's like, yeah, we're just waiting for it to be like a viable source of income to actually put a base here.
No, that's great. So the Bounty
say-
Hunter Guild office is like a guy.
Yeah,
Let's
kind
say
of.
that the office itself is under construction, so he's at this noodle shop or bar next
Oh,
door.
noodle shop. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's great. Yes, 100% that. Who all of the crew is going to the noodle shop? Is that California enough? Because I'm trying to think of like all the California isms that I can throw into this place. Is a noodle shop California enough?
I mean, it would have a much more specific name. It wouldn't just be noodles. It would be, are you going to, are you getting pad thai? Are you getting pho? So it's Warlockian noodles.
Oh, nice. I'm into the Warlockian noodles. You being the cook, Nanta, what are Warlockian noodles? Either what do they lack, or what do they teach you about your culinary expertise?
So they tend to flavor everything, the noodles here, with the broth, and often being kind of an island beachy kind of planet. It tends to be like a fish sauce or something like that, like what you would get with some Vietnamese food and stuff like that. So what it could use is more spices. They don't use a whole lot of like herbs and that kind of stuff necessarily. So I think a mixture of that would be great. But what I've learned is, the flavors that they can get out of mixing these different fish oils and stuff together. Sometimes it's sweet, sometimes it's sour. Yeah.
Nice. So you guys head in. I assume the PCs are all going. Are there other NPCs? Like, is Churdal rolling in on it? Is Freya? Is the dog, the as yet
Yeah.
unnamed dog? Are they all coming in, or are they not in said scene?
I would say Freya is always with me, I think, as a part of my technically like a hunting companion, as the playbook. And I was just going to say, for whoever comes with us, I am going to mark camouflage to become invisible and undetected till we get there. I want us to slip out of the palace unnoticed.
Smart. You just removed by little. That is one thing I can't do, but that's fine. I adore that of you. Very clever.
That's how I roll 16 pluses, baby.
That is how you roll the mini pluses. So the contact Zop is Dindu Kalopta, a Clatuinian who has effectively retired from active hunting to become a person who coordinates. So has Dindu retired because he thinks he can make more credits? Has he retired because he was never that good of a bounty hunter anyway? Or has he retired because, he took an arrow to the knee, as it were?
I think it's if you're okay with this, it's like total nepotism.
Ooh, okay.
And Dindu's uncle ran just looking really quick at Sinja's empire. Dindu's uncle runs the one Troikeen, right? The one, like the neighboring system, the closest one, right? And like is bringing up his nephew because this is the new planet. We need a new bounty head. And so he's in a little over his head. Not a bad bounty hunter. Wasn't bad at his job, but just not prepared for the executive parts of this.
He has the inverse Peter principle. He's risen to a point of incompetence now.
Yeah.
Yes. Delightful.
Yes.
Delightful.
Yes.
And I have a picture of him in the NPCs.
He will now get this job for the rest of his life.
Yeah. So Dindu, he still wears a pauldron that he's pretty proud of. But otherwise he's in some pretty comfortable looking clothes. You guys stroll in. There's some cool, like like guitar strummy beach music, like knockoff Beach Boys type music playing in here. It's very bright colors, lots of oranges, reds, yellows here. Lots of the California vibe aesthetic here, blondes, beautiful, and then a Clatuinian who is a dog-faced man. He has 3 empty bowls that are stacked in the middle, and he has a 4th bowl. He has a pair of unused sticks, like these long sticks that maybe you use, but he does not use them for the noodles. He just kind of just like grabs he grabs the noodles, you know. So he's got this, like, his fingers are little wet, viscous, moist. There, I'll just throw out the word moist to make you get the vibe there. Does he know Zop? Like, have you guys competed for a bounty?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's just more interesting. Yeah, that this is.
Ah,
There's not the favorite fellowship move. Is there the move in fellowship where you like, I've known this person? Do they remember me fondly or not?
I'm sure it's somewhere in there in 4 books. It's gotta, but we'll just say he knows
Okay.
you. Zop!
Yendo.
What are you doing here? And he looks up, and his eyes fix on you, Oron. He just ignores Nanta and the protocol droid. He fixes on you, Oron. You don't have your lightsaber out or anything, right?
No, of course not.
Okay. He fixes. Who's your
Dindu.
friend? Who's your friend?
Another bounty hunter, Dindu. We're here for work.
Oh, I got work. I got work. Lots of work. You getting some noodles? They're good.
They look good.
Can't have mine.
Fine. Don't want them.
If you don't mind not growling like that, you're upsetting my companion here. I gesture towards Freya.
Yeah, Freya's just hackles are starting to rise. The ears are just starting to lower dangerously, but the growl hasn't been returned. It's just one of those like, what is going on? Has Freya run into Clatuinians before?
Yeah, I think she definitely has, because we have. Together we've come across a lot of things in the galaxy. I think it's more Oron just kind of needling this guy.
Yeah. What? Get that lawful out of here.
Be happy to get out of here if you just answer the man's questions.
Ooh. So are you basically, no, I'm not gonna leave until you do
Yeah.
what I say? Okay, cool. That sounds good. I think then, that's definitely not speaking softly. So
No.
it is certainly not that. I think we will just, you're talking sense. You're speaking conviction and asking somebody to help. Tell us what you want from them and why they should help you. And if they're willing to listen, you'll roll. We're in talk sense, which is under the move reference.
Is this, do you think I'm rolling this, or is Zop? Since I'm kind of, I specifically told him answer the man's questions. Like, I'm setting up Zop to be the one to get
fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. That's fair.
Okay.
That sounds fair. Yeah.
You're kind of working together, right?
Yeah, you're working together. So you guys
Interesting.
choose who's got the role. You're like setting it up, and the bonds allow you to roll in hope.
All
Can't wait to
right.
break those bonds.
Dindu. Look at me. We're short on cash. This one points over at the
You're short because you're a
points over at
Rhodian.
Nanta. Broke a speeder. We need to get off of planet as quickly as
I
possible.
heard about that.
I
Like a
know.
couple
I
nobles
need
hanging
the
out.
highest bounty you have. I'm trying to get, the big fish here, right? So I guess actually I'm rolling sense, and that's great because I'm terrible at that. So,
Good. Excellent. Just the way I would like it.
Delightful.
But I am rolling plus another die, right? Okay.
He stops chewing and then he sucks, and like one of the noodles like wiggles around and disappears into his maw there. Let's see you roll with hope for 3d6 plus your terrible modifier.
It's 5.
Wow.
Even with hope, that's a 5.
6. It's 6. 2 plus 4, right? Or you have a minus
But
1.
I have -1 in sense.
Ah,
Awesome. Awesome.
I said answer the man's questions.
Amazing. Cool. So he says, I'll talk to you, Zop. Not with anybody else around. Important business. Important business.
I expected as much. Get out. Get out. And I just,
So, I would like to do something while
Sure.
we've come
Nobody's
in,
paying
they weren't
attention to
paying
you.
attention to. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
I have a move called the Little Folk. Whenever I do something sneaky while no one's looking, I roll plus courage. I took my communicator that I had that I'd radioed them, that I'm lost and that kind of stuff, and I'm just going to turn it on and put it under a table.
Nice.
Um,
Bugging the
not with
place
the
is so good.
intention. Well, not with the intention of us knowing what happens whenever we get kicked out, but with the intention of once we leave, knowing where this guy calls. So let me see how good or bad I did that. So that's a courage, which is 2. Okay. So I got a 6.
Awesome.
So, and on a 9-, everybody knows what you did, knows you did it as soon as they notice what you did, is how it's phrased. Anyway, yes.
Sweet. Yeah, I think what happens is you surreptitiously place the comm unit, then everyone's ordered out and you start to leave, and then just Master Nanta, unfortunately your comm unit has fallen underneath the table somehow and caught in the I brought it to you, sir. And everyone looks around and
Looks and then looks right at me,
yeah,
and
looks
I'm like,
right at you. Get out! Stop, I need your ear.
Zop, do call us if you need anything. We'll
Of
be just
course.
outside.
Get out. Get
All
out.
right. You don't have to act like that. All right. Come on, Nanta. Aro.
Sweet. Turdal's standing outside with a leash for the Loth Wolf or something. I don't know.
That's for the new dog, I think, Cherdal, not Freya. She doesn't need that.
Cool. So we cut back in, and Dindu leans close, and he pulls out one of those like smaller data pad type things, flips it with the one hand, and he's getting grime all over the screen from the noodles and stuff. And he taps a button, and he lays it down, and you see a picture of Oron, and the bounty is good.
Why are you showing me this?
I'm a fixture now. I don't hunt. Setting up an office. This could be the first one. Bounty's good. It's not Oron's name, but it is 100%
Yeah.
Oron and a Wolf.
This is your biggest bounty.
Says, I got something better. You do me this, I'll give you the other one. Yeah, 2-for-1 specials up. I know you're good for it. Best bounty hunter in all of Rhodia, that's you. Yeah?
But why would I do it?
Same
Show me what the big one is, and I'll do this.
Ooh, now you're speaking softly.
Yes.
Which you're also great at, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's like plus wisdom. I think I have a plus.
Oh my
wisdom.
god, that picture of Brooks is
Oh,
the
I'm at
best.
0. I'm rolling flat. My favorite. All right. All right. Let me just make sure I'm hitting all the so many tabs. Roll plus wisdom, then ask the questions from the list. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I really want them to. All right. I'm not rolling with advantage though, right? Just flat because there's no one else
You
helping
don't,
me.
yeah. I
Sweet.
isolated you from the others. Ha 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 ha.
Here we go. That's a 9.
On a 9 plus, one of their answers is not helpful. Either they refuse to answer, they don't, or they reveal a terrible truth you didn't want to hear. Their choice. But you get to ask questions. 3 questions from the list. Holy frijoles.
I don't know. Maybe I am more talking sense because I want him to show me. I have alternative motives here, as you might expect, but I want him to actually physically show me the other bounty.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
You owe them a favor. Ooh.
Okay. So let me. But I think I can rephrase this to appealing to their emotions or desires. Does that make sense? I don't know how much we want to retrocon this, but I could have been like, I want to make this look good for your uncle, right? Let's, I'm the best. I can make whatever one's happen.
Okay. That sounds a definite emotional there. So let's then with wisdom, does that push you to a 10?
No, with wisdom, I would still have the 9, so it would be the 9 plus on talk sense.
Okay.
Does he
9
actually
plus on
show
talk
me
sense.
the
Yeah,
bounty?
you owe them the favor. The more you ask them, the more they'll ask of you. They can cash it anytime, even right now, before they do as you ask. So he says, you got crafties up, I remember. You just wave credits under your face. You would betray anybody for it. Now you're going for the big haul. So you're going after this one, then.
Yeah. This one.
Good. So,
I want to shoot him.
shit.
Once I actually have that bounty card, once he shows me that bounty card, screw him. I'm getting rid of the one on Oron. So
Okay, awesome. So are you shooting him he was about to, just to be clear, he's about to tell you about the other bigger prize hunt.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're gonna wait till that, then pull a.
I don't know. That doesn't sound very Zop though. I just need the card that says what the Empire really wants.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the data pad, then you could probably just fiddle around. It's not like he's gonna. It's unlocked, so you're just gonna shoot him. You just got the drop on him.
Yeah,
blowing him
just
away.
like it's like the cell phone. I get it. I lean back and then I just across the table.
Amazing. I think.
Is that
You've
finished?
got an advantage. Yeah, I think it's finished them. Yeah. Yeah, if you finish them by trying to kill them, roll plus Bud. On a 10 plus, they die by your hand.
+2. Goodbye. Here we go. That's a 7. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Okay, on a 7 to 9, you deal damage to them and lose your advantage over them. That is awesome. So let's cut outside. It's Chrysos. So as you guys are there's a thing.
Oh, I want to get one of those snow cone things.
Yeah.
Like, we got kicked outside, and I see a parade coming through, and I'm gonna go look for a vendor.
Yes, there's a parade coming through. There are people, they are like throwing little bits of shaved ice up in the air, so small that it comes down like little droplets of snow and almost immediately melts on the sidewalk. Doesn't really collect. And there are people who are wearing the reds and the greens and the bright whites of the colors of Chrysos. And you have this snow cone. Not, I imagine it's getting in your fur. You've got like the white, right? So it's like a blue flavored, so you get little blue marks on your fur, or on Cherdal, you R0 and Freya, your lovely wolf, all outside as this parade goes by. Where's your focus? What are you just watching back to keep an eye on Zop to make sure the Zop's okay, or are you? What are you doing?
Oh, interesting change there, Greg.
Yeah, sorry. I realized I don't have a blaster pistol, so as I lean over to get the data pad, I just stab him in the chest.
Okay, sounds good. That definitely. I was about to have a blaster shot ring out, so it
Yeah,
shan't.
that's what I was thinking about. Oron's definitely he already can tell that the situation was going sideways before, and that that bounty hunter guild officer was eyeballing him. So he's going to not to shuffles off to get a snow cone, and he's just like, Churdal, make sure he doesn't get too far away. I'll keep an ear out here. And Oron is just trying to keep attention on Zop. His attention, not anybody else's attention.
Oh yeah, everyone look us up as he betrays this dirty Klaatu Indian. Sweet. You see it. You see it maybe around a moment before Zop makes his move, and he stabs the Klaatu Indian. But I think he wasn't expecting it, Zop. But just like the rest of his life, he's just lucky enough to not be dead. As he falls back, and the chair collapses under him as you come in with a full thrust, a lunge that would have driven directly into his heart. And we twist his pauldron, knocks your vibro dagger slightly askew, and someone in the noodle shop screams out because it's a big fight. They're not used to this. This is Cali vibes. They're trying to stay, not go golden here, but you just went gold. Like, woo, just jump. So that's a thing that happens is he is now going to scramble and try to find, he does have a blaster pistol, but he's on the floor. What do you wish to do?
Sorry, was that towards me or to Oron?
Oh, great question. Oron, you see this. You see the two of them are now in some kind of life or death struggle. Do you want to go enter the noodle shop at this time, or do you want to try to give cover because, an alarm has been set?
I think Oron is going to step into the noodle shop. His hand is going to go to his saber. He's not going to ignite it yet. I think he's going to ready himself to deflect if a blaster comes flying. If any bolts come out, he wants to deflect them. But so he has like one hand up and one hand tucked into his robes, and he says, "Zop, what is the meaning of this?"
Zop is a little too involved with getting Dundrel dead to answer, but you probably will see on the table the bounty
I love it.
to yourself if you look at it.
Yes, you absolutely see. You step in, you've got your lightsaber out, or did you
Not yet.
ignite it? Okay.
Hand on the hilt.
Hand on hilt. Okay.
Yep.
Hand on hilt. I haven't even drawn it out. Nanta, you can roll in on this anytime you wish.
Yeah, I think so. Basically, what we see from Nanta is we see Churdal is out there keeping an eye on me. We both hear the noise. I think Churdal actually had to get the snow cone thing for me because, they think of these people think of Ewoks as more savages. So I think he got the snow cone and handed it to me. And about that time, we hear the noise, and we both rush off. I think Churdal is much faster than I am, but I'm headed
He does
that
have the
way.
longer legs. It's not really fair, honestly.
I'm kind of wobbling. Yeah.
That's true. Sweet. So you guys are like a few steps behind. It's Oron, Zop, and Dinda. Dindu, sorry. Yeah, Dindu is going to try to draw his blaster and shoot you, Zop. What do you want to do something about that?
I mean, that's not my only weapon. So Zappa grabs the vibrorapier off his back and will just pin his hand before he can get to his blaster pistol. Or at least that's my intention.
Okay, let's see if you can overcome.
I'm not sure how much the overcome. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that plus blood?
It is any stat.
Any stat.
Okay. Yeah. You can overcome any obstacle, threat, cut, or move made against you or an ally if you're in position to act and have the means to stop it.
And I think that's definitely blood. That's violence. So +2 again. And Zop is just full on, like the skin on his ears is like turning red with rage, and his little head antennae thing are like waving and shivering in anger, and he's like, that is a 10.
Impressive. Most impressive. On a 10 plus, you stop them. You stop it from, you basically stop him cold from being able to shoot you. You pin his hand before he is able to draw out the blaster pistol. He's now like, he's calling like, what we call for? We call for the cops. We just call the authorities. Like, this guy's a bounty hunter. I need some help. It's probably not going to go well. You're probably both going to be arrested, and then they'll sort it out later. It's what you would guess might happen. But right now, no one wants to roll up on person with vibro knife and other person with blaster pistol. They're folks who are actually exiting around you, Oron. He is still struggling, trying to draw out his blaster pistol. That was foisted. Now he's just going to try to struggle to his feet and get some distance away from Zop.
Oron will let anybody else run out, and he's going to, hold up a hand, and he's going to show both of his hands, and he says, "This doesn't have to go anyway. We can walk out right now. You can keep your life, and we'll keep ours. I'm sure this was a misunderstanding. Nothing undoable. Nothing that is undoable needs to be done right now. I'm losing my words here."
Cool. It sounds like, by the way, he is bleeding, right? Zop, you stabbed him, knocked the crap out of him. Yeah, you stabbed him twice now. He is rough. Like, he is in a bad way here. And you know it as well, Oron. It's pretty obvious. This guy is not long for this world at this point. He's been stabbed a couple times by a vibro knife. He called for some help, but he's coughing up a little bit of blood and noodles. Are you trying to... If you do nothing, he's probably just going to expire right here and now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have this bottle of alien elven wine that is healing. It has healing properties. I think Oron's going to reach for it, and he's going to say, "Let me tend to your wounds. This can all be a distant memory."
And he looks terrified of you. He tries to get up, and his hand slips on some of the bowl mess, and he slams down onto the ground. But let's see if you can talk sense here for him to calm down.
Can I try to talk sense to my companion here for a second?
You could do whatever you can say whatever you want.
He needs to die.
Why does he need to die, Zop? I've yet to see a reason for it.
Is that not reason enough? Pointing at the data pad.
No, it's not. If you think this is the first time I've been hunted, you're wrong.
Others will come, Oron.
I'll tell you about the job. Just let me live.
Others will come no matter what, Zop. It is not about ending threats before they arise. We must simply defeat them as they come. This was not a threat. What might have come, I agree, yes, it could be dangerous and surely will, but we don't need to make an enemy of all of the guild today. And Oron kind of looks like, right? We don't need to be enemies to...
Yeah, my uncle will cut you down to the ends of the galaxy. He really likes me.
Drink
this
this.
Weakness that made your people die so quickly, Oron.
You may be right, but I'm not going to let this man die simply because someone put a contract out on me. He's not the one offering up the credits. Oh no. I rolled a terrible talk sense.
Awesome. Nanta,
Yeah.
before I make a cut, what are you doing at this point?
So I roll up outside and I see these patrons leaving, right? And I think, Oren, you said you were going to encourage people to leave the noodle shop and everything, and they're running out and probably looking for the cops. I turn to Brooks, the Corellian hound that we have, and I'm like, food. And I point, and I'm going to cause a ruckus outside, keeping everyone busy, right?
Uh-huh.
So that whenever authorities or someone else or someone tries to get in or something like that,
You want to keep them
they
busy. Sounds
I just
great.
want to keep them from getting in. Yeah.
Awesome, because there were definitely cops on the way. And that is the threat that you see is happening. That is my cut, is that there are a number of Varlock authorities who are making their way through the parade and heading beeline straight for this noodle shop.
So, let me roll, keep them busy.
Okay.
And see what that looks like. That is an 8, which means they will retaliate against me whenever time is up, but I buy some time and their attention is on me for now.
Okay.
And my sting like a bee also goes off, and I get to let's see. I could if they're bigger than me, I can get
They're
them to
bigger than
chase
you.
me around and leave the scene. I don't want to do that. I can think fast and look closely. Let me ask a question for look closely. Here. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to get them to chase me and leave so that they think I caused the disturbance to give Zop and Oron more time, but I'll double back at some point.
Okay.
Just so I'm not separate from the rest of them. And I get a second option, which is going to be let me hold on to that second option, and I've got a lot of
Sure.
things I want to read. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, read away. It's a bunch of like moves to sub moves to stuff. So, we have a miss on the table, and the authorities are on the way. Nanta has led them away. But
Nanta and Brooks, the dog, right?
Brooks the
Yeah.
dog, yes,
Yeah.
doubling up. So the authorities
We're
are not
total
coming.
savage wild animals, right?
Very bad. Chernow, though, however, is like hanging back. He's like, this is a bad scene. And plus, Nanta's real good at this. I'll just eat this snow cone now. But Oron, Zop, two of you talking to your victim. Dindu, he's like, I'll tell you the thing. My uncle will come after you. Oron, you try to talk sense to him, and then a shot rings out. And he is hit by a blaster bolt from far away, and he falls to the floor, dead. It hit him right in the temple. Like there was no laser sight; it just came from behind you, Oron, and nailed him.
Oron whips around and senses out for where the shot came from.
Sweet. Yeah, not even a roll. You triangulate, look up, and up on a rooftop, maybe 3 stories up, there's a person with a blaster rifle, like a long sniper rifle, and they flip up these pair of like telescoping goggles. You see that they appear to be a human. They're wearing some kind of armor. They see you and they turn and run.
Zop, do we chase them? Did you get the information we needed from this man?
Zop doesn't even pause, just runs out after the assassin.
Nice.
Ah!
Who gets the data pad? Did you pocket that, Zop, or are you leaving it for Oron
I
to
have
get?
the data pad for for the big Imperial bounty.
Yep.
I have not actually taken a look at it yet.
Okay. Cool.
But Oron's datapad is still on the table unless you picked it up.
Oh no, they were on the same. I'm imagining this datapad had both.
Oh, it had both.
was like
okay.
datapad.
So I have it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like his not iPad. You know, it's a cheap
Gotcha.
knockoff pad that has the data set on it. Awesome. Oron, Zop has grabbed the pad, taken off. Are you taking off after Zop? Do you know that Nanta's running around? Turtle's standing right outside with R0. R0, what should we do, Master Oron?
Aro, help Nanta when he comes back. Stay with Tradal. We'll be right back. We'll be back soon. And then I think he's just going to chase after Zop.
Awesome. Cool. I'd like to call a quick bio break. So let's
Fantastic.
do that. Okay, we pick up a mid chase. Zop. This is going to be a rooftop chase. This person did not have a speeder bike. You are on the ground, the street level, with a parade in the way. I am curious, what is the plan you have here?
I see them running out across the rooftops, and I'm going to sort of, of course, like cinematically, right? The parade is going in the opposite direction, right?
Of
That just
course,
has to
yes,
be the way, right?
yes.
So Zop is going to like immediately like just turn and cut back up through alleys on the opposite side of the street, keeping tabs, through the openings as it opens up. I'm trying to get a view of where they are on the rooftops up across the street.
Nice. Oron, you see Zop dart off and it looks like he's going to try to mirror this assassin running across the rooftops. What do you wish to do?
I think I wish to take a different approach. I want to find a different angle to get to them, perhaps before Zop does. I would like to use my keen senses to ask a single question about my surroundings and immediately receive a truthful answer.
Ooh, do it, you crazy Jedi.
And that is through sensing this parade, this route, all of these things. Is there a route that will get me, or perhaps the better question, maybe to frame it more in my favor, is what is the fastest route to this fleeing target?
Oh, yeah. You scan everything and recognize that among the parade, there is a speeder float. And that if you take that speeder float, you can go up and over.
That is what I must do.
Excellent. Nanta, this speeder float, who are on this? Are there caricatures of various animals of von Warlock? Are there several pretty young Warlons who are winners of particular beauty contests of some kind? Or is this some kind of trade union related parade float?
This is kind of a winter festival, so I think it's the middle one. These are winners of the Winter Queen kind of thing. They're
Yeah.
dressed in not warm clothes, but things that appear to be warm. So like maybe a felt lined, like, top that, might have longer sleeves than you would expect in this kind of climate.
Nice.
And, they have fake snow or fake what might pass for snow for people who've never seen snow before, on the float itself. And that's why it's actually
They have,
floating,
like
is
little
because
like glittery applique in their hair and stuff. That's great. I love it.
exactly. And I think that's why this this parade float is floating, or hovering, is so that some of that will come off and almost look like it's drifting in the air, to kind of accentuate that this is a cold thing.
Cool.
By the way, I figured out my other move, my other choice, which is, it should be simple. Tell me about the guards, what are they doing and what will they do next, just so I can give them the slip.
Excellent.
That's the mechanical way that I can give them the slip and get back in with everybody.
Cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Tell you about the guards. The guards are regular human sized. You can give them the slip by like ducking underneath a float. And when you come up on the other side, you can easily lose yourself in the crowd and double back while they are heading around. Ooh. But your dog is not as smart as you.
No. And it probably leads them off.
Yeah, but it leads them off. So you can double back. You're gonna have to figure something else out about the dog, or maybe the dog ends up in a nice new home. Who knows? Sweet. So Oron, not a roll to take the float. You are a Jedi. God forbid anyone get in your way if there's a thing you want to do. So yeah, you're in the float. You said that you were going for the thing. You take off over. There's a few screams. Several of the girls jump off. I'm imagining like a white and blue version of like Luke's speeder.
Yeah.
Just so we got the 3 engines in the back type deal. And you take off up over, going over top of some kind of animal-led sled that there's an old person on. And he screams out, "Oh ho ho!" as you speeder over top of him, heading towards the sniper. Zop, you're running alongside, like jumping alleyway to alleyway on top of the buildings, and you see Oron coming up on big speeder towards your quarry. Zop, what are you doing as this person turns and they're gonna like whip out their sniper rifle and try to snap off a shot at the person flying at them?
The most Star Warsy thing, I'm going to jump on the front of Oron's speeder and then jump to the other side of the
Amazing.
of the parade.
Oh, please overcome, because that seems dangerous.
Can I? Yeah, okay, that seems dangerous.
Oh wait, what do you want to do?
Well, I was angling for Bloodhound, but no, I agree, because it's just when you track someone whose trail isn't cold, but I haven't really lost them. I know where they are.
Yeah,
So
you do.
okay, overcome, and I think this would be courage.
Oh
or
yeah,
grace. Is this grace?
I think it's courageous, man. It's less
Okay.
about being beautiful and just like doing the crazy thing.
Jump the speeder. Here we go. That's a 6.
Is Oren helping you? You guys are kind of working together here.
I think Oron's not
Here's the
helping
deal.
him.
Yeah,
Okay,
Oron,
No,
you're flying up.
unawares. It's more fun if Oron's
you
not
hear
aware.
Zop, and he's coming. He's not gonna make it. Like you can see it, Aura. He is not going to. He cannot jump nearly as far as he thought. Maybe he got
Yeah.
like slipped a little bit on a piece of like not quite
Gravity's
ice
different.
or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
gravity's different here on Varlock.
So I think, yeah, it's not so much Oron's helping, it's Oron sees that Zop's not going to make it. And so he, jerks the speeder to the left.
Did you do the Akira thing?
Yeah, I do. I did the Akira slide, letting the quarry get further away, perhaps away, but saves Zop from plummeting and getting trampled.
Awesome. And the fairly attractive cousin of the second unit director, who is in the speeder with you as one of the beauty pageant, she screams out, wraps her arms around your neck. This is totally a memeable moment. But yeah, you are helping, which means you get to roll another die, Zop, because you are now rolling in hope.
I will roll one more.
Good luck.
2s.
Roll better than 2.
All right. One die. Here we go.
Make it worth it.
That squeaks me. That's 5.
It did what you said. You said roll better than
Squeaks
2.
it to a
You weren't
7.
specific enough.
Squeezed you to a 7. You did actually succeed.
Wow.
Amazing.
So I will pay the price.
Oh, yeah. I think that you are going to damage a stat doing this.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
My grace. It's not. It is not graceful. So we have.
I think it comes around. Remember, I described it as like Luke's speeder. It's got those 3 engines in the back. I think you end up on one of the things, and it just knocks the breath out of you. Unless you had, Greg, a different idea.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna make it. Or on swerves, I land. I'm like a cat on ice, right? I'm like, whoa, sliding on the front of the speeder. We have the screaming moment. Zop reaches over, grabs the steering device, leans it back so that it's now we're going up and over to the other side. And Oron in panic hits the brakes and I go flying off, but land next to the quarry
Awesome.
and bring them down. It's a slapstick moment, as
It's
we all
great.
love.
It's delightful. Yes, you slam into the quarry and their sniper rifle goes like that. You can, when you hit them, Zop, you feel that underneath the cloak that they had on, they're wearing some kind of armor. And you slam them to the ground. Oron, good job. You delivered the package. Where?
Yeah, I think Oron, the quarry's has fallen over. Zop falls over off of the thing. Oron's going to hop out of the speeder, turn back to look at the woman who is inside. He says, I apologize for everything that you've been a part of. You may take the speeder back now. Everything is fine. May the force be with you.
I don't know how to drive. And that's fine. We're cutting away from her. She just doesn't know how to drive. So good work. You guys have captured this assassin. I don't want to have like a knockdown, drag out fight.
No,
so
I was thinking that at this point is probably when Nanta catches up. Right?
Yes, you've captured
like
the
Nanta,
assassin. Nanta catches up. Yes, those 2 things happen.
The assassin's even like trying to get away, and then the Nanta's just there with a snow cone.
Yeah.
Another one. This one's red. You're like, that's not the same one.
That's not the same one.
Cool. I think to kind of even maybe not necessarily hand wave, but to secure the deal even further, I think I want to use sleep tight, another one of my elder arts. I can immediately put a person straight to sleep. It is a normal sleep. They can be woken by anything that would awaken a sleeping person, but at the very least, they're out. We can easily, Churdal can get a grip on them, and we can go somewhere quiet.
Awesome. Sweet. Yeah, you put the sleep on them. We see her face for a moment before she falls unconscious. And now where's the next scene that we pick up? Are we on the ship?
Yeah, I think we have to head back to our ship. Since our thought is we don't know what it is yet, but we think we have the intel for what this big Imperial job is. And now we need to find out who this is and what they're tied to. So yeah, I think we get back to our ship. We're all on it, locked up tight.
I think one of the screen wipes is Nanta, as we see the float kind of wander off, turns around and says something to the rest of them, which obviously means, if only we had a speeder to get back to the ship. Yeah.
Yes, if only, Nanta. I wonder what happened to ours.
It's delightful.
You just let one go.
Easy come, easy go.
Okay. How have you secured the assassin? Is this a thing where you've bound her hands? Is there, I mean, this is an old Republic ship. I imagine there has to be a brig. Maybe it's got like the 4-screen type deal going on. What do you think?
I bet there is a brig with a 4-screen, but the 4-screen doesn't work. It has never worked. It's so old, and this ship's been repurposed that it's just like a big open closet that you can walk into and out of. And this ship belongs to Darren, right? So it's probably a closet filled with his clothes.
Nice.
And so they're just kind of pushed in the back of this cloakroom, and Churdal is standing there, arms crossed. Exactly. And then Zop, Nanta, and we're all standing outside. There's nowhere for you to run. And if you do, he'll rip your arms off. I've seen him do it.
Her face is very drawn, like tight. You get the read Oron, this is a person who has received military training. Maybe has been drilled to like, here's how you resist interrogation. You can see that there is a hardness to her cast. She is in excellent physical shape, and you now realize this after having taken, she has a cybernetic left leg. She does not appear to be Varlaki. She appears human.
Yeah, Oron kind of takes these things in, recognizes there's probably training here against interrogation. He's going to speak softly, and he's just going to say, we just have a few questions. As far as I can tell, I think you and him, gesturing to Zop, are on the same side. You simply did what he wanted to do. We mean you no harm, but we do need information. And I would like to speak softly and trigger a custom move with the Jedi as way with words. When I speak softly, who admires or fears me? I don't know if they admire or fear me, so I just, I'm saying it aloud in case it does key. I can roll with grace instead of wisdom. So it'd be a +2 instead of a +1. And then I get to know some extra stuff.
Cool. I'm gonna rattle off her answer before you roll dice. It's not her final answer. It's just this is what she says in response. She says TZ 346.
Imperial, then. Is that your trooper number?
On the ground.
What'd you say, Craig?
When it runs as Imperial, then Zop spits on the ground.
Nice. That's good. You can hit the roll. I wasn't trying to obviate the roll. I was just saying that's what she's rolling, and you say you're Imperial then, and she just.
All right. Speak softly or talk quietly, whichever word it's called. 7. I got a 7.
Ooh.
So
you get to ask 3 questions, but on a 9-, one of the answers is not helpful.
And if you're allowing it, did that trigger my way with words? Does this person admire or fear me?
I think so.
Then I also get to ask, what do they desire
do
most?
Do they see your lightsaber?
Oh yeah, we're on the ship. It hangs openly.
Rock
yeah,
on.
Absolutely.
Then yes, they are impressed by you.
So yeah, so I get to ask, what do they desire most in addition to everything else, regardless of the result? So I'm going to ask, what were they doing and what are they going to do next? And maybe Oron kind of, he's used the Force to put them to sleep. Maybe there's a lingering connection there, and he kind of relies on it as asking these questions. This trooper might be repeating TZ 346, but their mind might be more open.
I love that. That sounds awesome. Yeah, resisting the Force as an interrogation tool is impossible for this trooper. She's a highly trained trooper, and so hit the questions again. This is what answers you the Force unveils to you.
Perfect. So the first thing is, what were you doing and what are you going to do next?
What she was doing was keeping a close eye on the Klaatuinian because they were securing mercenaries to find the lost holocron.
I think as I am being made aware of these answers through the Force, Oron's going to be speaking them aloud so everyone is aware, but also he's doing it kind of to play up that she thinks she's hiding information and she's not. He kind of wants to startle her with his power. So anything Rich says, you guys are aware of, yeah.
Yeah, and she now, like, she saw the lightsaber. Now she's just rattling off TC 346, and then you speak aloud what's going on in her mind, and it just it breaks her. Like,
what were you going to do next? You kept an eye on him about this holocron. What were you going to do next?
And what she was going to do next was report to Matron Chivelza. You asked a question, what does she want most?
What does she desire most? Yeah.
The
That's
approval.
gonna be my second question, actually. After I get this first piece of information, again, to further rattle, I want to sense, even before I ask, I want to sense, what does she desire most?
And what she desires most is Matron's approval.
I'm sure the matron would approve of your actions today, but I'm not sure she's going to approve of you being captured by us. And I think the matron has a low tolerance for mistakes. Now, what can you tell us about this holocron? So that'll be my third question of 4 is, what can they tell us about this holocron?
And this is where it's not helpful.
Mm-hmm.
She answers aloud, TZ346. The words come out haltingly, or the letters and numbers come out haltingly. From her mind, you can tell Matron didn't tell her jack. In fact, she suspects that it's not a holocron, but that's the words that were given to her.
All right.
Yeah.
The last question I want to ask here is, should be aware of, no, what do they want? How can we help them get it? So I kind of have this idea, what do they desire most? The matriarch's approval. But I also have this question, what do they want and how could we help them get it? I am curious of that. What specifically do they want here and how can we help them get it? And again, this isn't so much a question out loud as it is a kind of a probe.
Yep. Sorry, just trying to figure out how much of the grand plan is she even allowed to be aware of. So I think she has been told, or she has overheard, that this item is very powerful and it will allow Warlord Zinj to further his goals, to bring peace to the galaxy again.
Of course. Everyone wants to bring peace, but only at the point of a blaster. Sherdal, keep watching her. Zop, Nanta, Aro. They're after some holocron. I'm sure that if we look at that data pad you took from your guild, that is what the job entails. I think we have to find it before they do. And I think we need to hold on to her. We can perhaps meet up with the rebellion and hand in exchange a prisoner. They can do what they need to do. But we need to act fast. They think they have something. Truly, if it is what it is, if it is what they think it is, that is powerful. And if it's not what they think it is, I'm even more worried about what it could be. What does the data pad say, Zop?
Zop will smear off some Platunian blood that's still on it, rubs
and a little bit of noodle juice,
suit, little noodle juice, and starts skipping past the Oron bounty. I don't know. Do I have to look closely for this, or I'm just reading it, right?
I think you got it. I'm looking at time, and I think you just gather this information. So on there is a job. There is a team that's already been sent on it, but he is off. Like he's got an open contract. Sorry, had an open contract to hire multiple teams to secure the artifact. There is a recently revealed area from a fault line that opened up, and there is an underground series of passages, readings which are off the scale for a long lost ancient artifact of great importance to the planet of Warlock that is important to the Empire, They're not saying what it is. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they just don't want a bunch of mercs to know. But the pay for it is obscene, which means it's either really important or they never plan on paying you.
Well, if only we had a speeder.
We have a
I
ship.
bet Nanta's going to turn around and walk out. I'm going to take some food, and I'm going to go talk to TZ346.
Okay. That sounds good. Yeah. I like that a lot. Let's have that scene.
Sweet.
She's at this point, she's broken. Like this Jedi just pulled every answer out of her. She knows the matron is at best going to kill her. She's removed her cybernetic leg at this point and is just rubbing at the spot in I think it's like attaches at the hip. So she's just rubbing the spot where it normally attaches, and you come up and she looks over.
And I talk to her through R0, so I say a few things, and I'm like, he's very scary. I once said something to him, and he immediately knew whenever I was lying. It's... I don't know. But I get the feeling that what he said was true to you. And that means that the matron won't be happy with you. And we know what happens whenever people aren't happy. People on the side of the matron and on the side of Zinj aren't happy. My people suffered greatly under the Empire, and it took a lot of them to wipe us out. They wiped a lot of us out. But overall, we succeeded because we were on the path of right. I think I can talk my companions and Oron into letting you go. And you've done a successful job by killing the bounty hunter. And they don't have to know about us. They just know that you got away. But I think that you should start working with us. You've seen the power that the Oron has. And I think that he might be more powerful than your matron. If you if you help us by sharing information that you get, then I think you will be rewarded in ways that the matron never intended. You will have freedom, like I have found, and you will have a sense of what needs to be done, that you're doing the right thing.
Nice. That is a perfect setup for a move.
So the moves I was looking at Talk Sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think technically what I'm doing is forging a bond.
Ooh.
I think if I can get through to her with Talk Sense, it would forge a bond out with someone outside the fellowship.
Yeah. They will join your cause as a companion so long as the bond holds. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Talk Sense is appeal to their emotions or desires, which would be wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom is flat for me. Since I invoked Oron and his impressive power and expressed my own fear of Oron and his ability to sense my lies, can I take that as him helping me?
I like it. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
let's see how it goes.
So I'm gonna take hope with that and roll. Ah, and that got me a 10. And on a 10, they do as you ask to the best of their ability and no favor.
You just forged a bond with a an Imperial trooper, and she will join the Fellowship. That's awesome.
I don't think I can pronounce TZ346, and I'm going to name her Tezzy. And that's how I talk to her. Awesome.
That's cool. All right. Wow.
Now I need to convince Oron and Zop that we can let her go, and it'll be okay.
Yeah, let's see how that
Right.
goes. She says, all right, Nanta, I'll join this little rebellion of yours. Sticks prisoners in closets.
Well, it's a little bit better than what happened to our bounty hunter friend, right? He just died. And we gave you an option to go get away. So I'm gonna go talk to the powerful one and Zop, and we'll see what we can do to smooth this over.
I think while Nata is having that first conversation with TZ, Oron's speaking with Zop. We're having a discussion elsewhere. And Zop, I know why you did what you thought you had to do. I understand it, and I am thankful for the actions that you displayed, even though I don't think what you did was worth it. And I don't, if I may be so bold, Zop, I don't think you wanted to go through with it either. You have much stronger abilities. I know what you're capable of. I have absolute faith in your power with a blade, a blaster. Your heart wasn't in it. You knew that what you were trying to do wasn't the right thing.
It's clumsy.
It was clumsy.
And this is your force guiding me?
Perhaps it is your heart guiding you, Zop. You're not a ruthless killer anymore. You're fighting for something bigger, something more important, and something that will take far longer to build than a stab.
We will see in time if you are right.
We will. Zop, I wanted to say as well, and Oron holds up his lightsaber. I appreciate what you did for this. You tended this, you cleaned it, you cared for it when it was in your possession, however briefly that was. That is not the behavior of a ruthless killer. He tucks it back into his belt. Door opens, I suppose, and Nanta can trot in.
So I think I plot in, and I close the door. I say, we need to talk, which is a little weird coming out of R0's voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
You,
What is it,
Oron.
R0? Nanta?
I turn to Oron and I'm like, you did a great job of scaring Tezzy. And I think that she has one choice left to her, which is a choice we've all felt at times, which is that she cannot fail in the eyes of the matron, but she can help us. So my suggestion is that we let her go and cover for her capture. And in return, she will feed us information. If this doesn't work out, we can always publish the, what she's told us so that it's obvious that she failed. So while it seems like a choice, it's really no choice at all. A choice between helping us and joining the rebellion, and a choice between suffering the punishment from the matron.
There is, of course, a third option, Nanta. We could offer her as a captive to the rebellion.
I think that's something that the Empire would do, Oron. And I would rather be on the side of letting someone choose what they do instead of taking away their freedom.
And Nanta, do you believe she will help us beyond the mere convenience?
Who knows?
Zop makes some sort of convoluted Rhodian carrot and stick metaphor.
Yeah.
And
I turn and I stare at Oren and I'm like, I can't see into the heart of people, but this way they have a choice.
Yes, Nanta, it is admirable what you wish to do. Simply turning her over as captive to the rebellion, that is a fairer end than most troopers get.
But in this case, she can help the rebellion.
She may prove her quality. All right, little one. We'll do it your way.
If she ever runs away, I can place little Falkeen in her ear.
And Nanta kind of cocks his head. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want anything to do with that. Let's hope she's on the straight and narrow, I suppose. Nanta, she will be your contact, and you will be responsible for what she tells us and what you tell her.
Understood.
Then we need to go after this. We need to find this location that Zop has found on this datapad. Do you recommend we turn her over now and let her go before we begin?
The sooner the better, because that way she can cover for her absence and show that she succeeded in killing the bounty hunter. I think that in order for her to be trusted, she will need to report that we are present, just like everyone else on the planet has already seen us. So,
yes, we're not losing anything with that.
Yeah. So I think that she will be contacting us soon, as soon as she's clear. And I think we should let her go now.
This is an incredible risk, but I'm trusting you on this, Nanta.
Awesome. We have reached the end of our session. At the end of the session, the Fellowship answers 3 questions. Did you strike a blow against the Empire or its leaders? I think yes. And the reason that I think, yeah, you took their assassin away. You took away one of the matron's minions. You also learned about, you've unveiled their plot. They want to get some magical doohickey thing. Did you protect the common folk from harm?
I think Oron did. He tried to protect the bounty hunter recruiter, from death and got everyone out of the shop, right? Was like, leave.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Did you learn something new about the Empire and its plans? Oh, wow.
Yes.
So both. You got a double dip. Nice. For each yes answer, the group chooses one of the following options. I'm on the game reference tab, column K. Each player refreshes a piece of gear, chooses a stat to heal, does not have to be theirs, and the Fellowship and the Empire each choose one player to level up.
I will heal my grace.
Oh yeah,
I
heal that grace. I also think Zop needs to get a level.
Yeah, I think Zop is the only one who doesn't have a level.
Mm-hmm.
I get a level. Woohoo!
And then for the third option, refreshes
So,
a piece of gear.
this is my first time leveling. I
Yeah.
pick a checkbox.
Oh, yes. You choose one of the advancements. So starting at row 114, that you pick
Yeah,
one of those
okay.
checkboxes. Somebody's unhiding people. It's
I
blowing my
wanted to
mind.
see who's. I wanted to see if
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Darren had gotten levels already.
Has Darren already leveled?
Yeah, so now we're all at 2.
Okay, what about the matron?
I get to choose someone to level, and I believe I'm going to choose to level the matron because she is not the highest level. And everyone
Right.
has leveled, so she will now be 3rd level, and I will let Tyler make that choice.
Fantastic. That's awesome.
And so for our third, what are we going to do for our third? I don't have any gear use. I almost used my healing elven wine, but that didn't.
I know you were gonna, but then somebody killed them.
Yeah, terrible.
It's not
Anybody else
nice.
have gear uses? No.
Well,
Well, I guess.
This doesn't get used.
What's that?
It just doesn't get used, I guess.
Well, we could choose another person to level, right? I think you're well, let me double check. You may choose one of the following options. You can choose an option more than once.
Oh.
So we could throw another level up to anybody.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh.
Nanta? Nanta
Nanta?
want another level.
All
getting us
choices on whose levels up have been made, so everyone has to be up to level 2,
and
which
we
I
are,
think
yeah.
you just did.
So Nanta
Yeah.
would be 2. We go to 3. I'm all for it.
Okay.
Cool.
And that means I, as the Overlord, get to make a choice as well, and I cannot choose the matron, so I'll choose Oron. You get to make level 3, Oron.
Oh my. I don't know how I feel about the Overlord empowering me. Is this the dark
Don't
side?
worry. Embrace it. Do it. Cool.
I can steal other people's gear. Hold on.
Also, I would like to point out, since we recruited someone, we talked about this at the beginning. Where's that tab again? We can go up in health, right?
Yes.
I think health goes up by 2, and then that makes intel go up by 1, and forces go up by 1.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Fantastic.
I don't know why I didn't even think of the idea that, yeah, if you recruit her, that also gives us stats. I was like so focused on like, it says here on Intel, if we turn him over, we get 2 Intel. But yeah, it's of course you.
And I kept focusing like in the first session. We're getting into stars and
Yeah.
thorns, so yeah.
Cool. So let's good stuff. The intel seems low. Oh, you spent intel to get a thing?
We
Is that
didn't.
right?
We
Oh.
didn't.
Yeah, you didn't spend it. So
it should have been
it
at 5. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be 5.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. That's why I want to talk it through. Don't forget for the lovely wishes that you are transcribing, Cody. So let's
Yes,
do
sir.
some wishes. And then we'll end with stars. Who's got wishes? Oh, Greg. Oh, you're back. You disappeared, Greg. It was so scary.
Oh no. Sorry about that.
But anyway, who'd like to throw out wishes?
I'll
I'll
throw
go
out a
with
first
cheap
wish.
wishes. You go ahead, Oren.
All right. Mine is just I'm very excited to see this this adventure location, this like lost temple or something. So big wish to see that and to see some cool Force stuff. Because I think that's I think there's a lot of fun in that.
Steven, you're right on the heels, so go next.
Yeah, my cheap wish is, I'm excited to see Darren and the matron back. Is Tyler joining us in the next session?
Yes.
Okay.
So
that'll be fun.
Pursuant to that, I'd like to actually kick off this next session with a Darren matron scene fulfilling the wish for the dance.
I was literally just about to offer that as a wish as well. Thinking, okay, they're both going to be here. Then I would almost want to see, while we're doing this, just a one-on-one there. That'd be very exciting.
That's beautiful.
I will wish that some way Cinefalkine and I'm the Chekhov's gun of that is cocked. I want to see, maybe Falkine's people involved at the temple, or I don't know, something cool. And then yeah, and the cheap wish I'm just really excited about having everyone together. Um and the exciting fleeing the planet scene, because that's feels very much like what we're building towards for next session. MacGuffin hopefully in hand.
Excellent. Greg, you went last with Wish. You get to go first with Stars.
Oh, huge star to Steven for turning Tizzy.
Did not see it
Because I was
coming.
like,
So
that's what I
good.
want to do. That's not what Zop is like, has the tool set for. So I was very excited about that. Oron, thank you for stopping me from killing Dindu. That was a great moment where I got to
That was
call out
good.
your Jedi bullshit. Of this is why you're weak. This is why you will not succeed. And then he ends up dead anyways. So stars to Rich for that, for the blaster bolt through the doorway. Goodbye, Dindu.
Thank you, Greg. Then Stephen, what about you? Any wish or stars out there?
Yeah. I loved, it made a lot of sense, and it caught me completely off guard whenever Zop was like, "I'm going to shoot him." I'm like, "Of course you're going to shoot him. That makes perfect bounty hunter, Han Solo, scoundrel sense. Yes, you totally should take care of this. How are we going to get out of it, right?" And loved that whole scene was really good, where I'm going to shoot him and try and kill him. Oren's going to try and stop and talk peace, like, is his place. And then Richard just like, and then someone plugs him from outside, and we were like, "Oh, who is that?" And then it led us forward. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Cody, any stars left
I
out there
mean,
for you?
yeah, just seconding everybody's star to Steven for making the move to talk with the trooper and turning her to the fellowship. Like I said, that wasn't even a thing I considered being a possibility, because I didn't even look at the moves that say you can make bonds with people outside the fellowship. Like a consistent star to Steven for always looking at all of these little fiddly bits in these games and finding, it often feels like you do go out of your way to hit different like parts of the game, because you want to put the game through its paces. So it's just a huge star always playing with you. You find things like that. Big star to Greg for knifing the bounty officer. Absolutely great choice. It comes right on the heels of saying Zop's turning a new leaf. He's not like that, and it's irony, of course, but it's so great to be that. And then immediately Zop stabs him. Not even like, oh, in a couple sessions maybe Zop does a bad. No, Zop immediately is like, well, I got to stab him.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
I'm
huge.
turning a new leaf. I'm not taking the bounty on you, Oron. That's the new leaf. I'm still a
Right.
violent
Yes, of
motherfucker.
course. Yeah. And I love that, because it did set up some fun dynamics. And yes, of course, then Rich takes my failed roll and instead blasts him in the head anyways. It's like, whoa, just complications are popping off. And again, and another star as well. This is sort of in the same vein as the Wish territory. I love a lost temple location. You're telling me there's some lost artifact stuff. That is classic adventure shit. I'm here for it. So big star to that, Rich.
Thank you. I was going to do it in a swamp because that was my first instinct, and then I thought, no, I need to do something California related. So then a fault line and an earthquake seemed California-like, and then revealing a long line. I'm like, oh yeah, that feels good. It feels better than swamp. So there we go. And of course, it just recently happened. That's why the Empire showed up. So I'm like, oh, it all falls in place. Yay! I'm glad that you guys are excited for Secret Temple shenanigans. It's going to be fun. Who knows? Maybe I could get access to the rules for the new Lara Croft Tomb Raider game. We'll just run that for a session. Who knows? Who knows? This was delightful. I knew it would be. I mean, I've got 3 superstars, so thank you all so much for being here and playing this with me. And with that, we'll go ahead and bring it to a close. Thank you all so much.